defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Defenselessness is strength, it testifies to the recognition of the Christ, the recognition of the Christ in you. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Be still a moment and in silence think how holy is your purpose, how secure your rest, untouchable within its light. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Oh, we have a great job to do to share that with the world, so that the world can understand that you make what you defend against by your defense against it. Let it go. We're all brothers, and we're invulnerable in God, and that's our reality. We're going to learn all about it today in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. And we're ready for lesson 153 for Monday, June the 2nd of 2025. You who feel threatened by this changing world, its twists of fortune and its bitter jests, its brief relationships, and all the, in quotes, gifts it merely lends to take away, attend this lesson well. The world provides no safety. It is rooted in attack, and all its, in quotes, gifts of seeming safety are illusory deceptions. It attacks and then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens thus. The world gives rise but to defensiveness, for threat brings anger. Anger makes attack seem reasonable, honestly provoked, and righteous in the name of self-defense. Yet is defensiveness a double threat, for it attests to weakness and sets up a system of defense that cannot work. Now are the weak still further undermined, for there is treachery without and still a greater treachery within. The mind is now confused and knows not where to turn to find escape from its imaginings. It is as if a circle held it fast, wherein another circle bound it, and another one in that, until escape no longer can be hoped for nor obtained. It is as if a circle held it fast, wherein another circle bound it, and another one in that, until escape no longer can be hoped for nor obtained. Attack, defense, defense, attack becomes the circles of the hour and the days that bind the mind in heavy bands of steel with iron overlaid, returning but to start again. There seems to be no break nor ending in the ever-tightening grip of the imprisonment upon the mind. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness in a form so grim that hope of sanity seems but to be an idle dream beyond the possible. The sense of threat the world encourages is so much deeper and so far beyond the frenzy and intensity of which you can conceive, that you have no idea of all the devastation it has wrought. You are its slave. You know not what you do in fear of it. You do not understand how much you have been made to sacrifice. Who feel its iron grip upon your heart, you do not realize what you have done to sabotage the holy peace of God by your defensiveness. For you behold the Son of God as but a victim to attack by fantasies, by dreams, and by illusions he has made, yet helpless in their presence, needful only of defense by still more fantasies and dreams, by which illusions of his safety comfort him. Defenselessness is strength. Defenselessness is strength. It testifies to recognition of the Christ in you. Perhaps you will recall the text maintains that choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, seen apart from him. Defenselessness can never be attacked because it recognizes strength so great, attack is folly. Or a silly game a tired child might play when he becomes too sleepy to remember what he wants. Defensiveness is weakness. It proclaims you have denied the Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. What can save you now from your decision of an angry God, whose fearful image you believe you see at work in all the evils of the world? What but illusions could defend you now, when it is but illusions that you fight? We will not play such childish games today, for our true purpose is to save the world. We will not play such childish games today, for our true purpose is to save the world. And we would not exchange for foolishness the endless joy our function offers us. We would not let our happiness slip by because a fragment of a senseless dream happened to cross our minds, and we mistook the figures in it for the Son of God, its tiny instant for eternity. We look past dreams today and recognize we need no defense because we are created unassailable, without all thought or wish or dream in which attack has any meaning. Now we cannot fear, for we have left all fearful thoughts behind, and in defenselessness we stand secure, serenely certain of our safety now, sure of salvation, sure we will fulfill our chosen purpose as our ministry extends its holy blessing through the world. Be still a moment, and in silence think how holy is your purpose, how secure you rest, untouchable within its light. God's ministers have chosen that the truth be with them. Who is holier than they? Who could be surer than Who could be surer that his happiness is fully guaranteed? And who could be more mightily protected? What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election and their own as well? It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers choose as they have done. It is the function of God's ministers to choose as they have done. I've got a horse walking up to me, and I was just trying to make sure he didn't step on my guitar. They think this bucket has grain in it. Let me get this bucket out of here, and they'll probably leave me alone. I fed them a while ago. Be still a moment, and in silence think how holy is your purpose, how secure you rest, untouchable within its light. God's ministers have chosen that the truth be with them. Who is holier than they? Who could be sure that his happiness is fully guaranteed? And who could be more mightily protected? What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election and their own? It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers choose as they have done. God has elected all, but few have come to realize his will is but their own. Catch that. It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers choose as they have chosen, or they have done. God has elected all, but few have come to realize that God's will is but their own will. And while you fail to teach what you have learned, salvation waits and darkness holds the world in grim imprisonment. Now will you learn that light has come to you, and your escape has been accomplished. For you will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. You will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. Let's see if I can move a couple horses. Hey, you guys, let's back up. Back up. Come on. Let's back up, guys. Go on. Let's back up here. Come on. You don't even want to move, do you? Okay. For you will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. As they take it from your hands, so will you recognize it as your own. Salvation can be thought of as a game that happy children play. It was designed by one who loves his children and who would replace their fearful toys with joyous games, which teach them that the game of fear is gone. His game instructs in happiness, because there are no losers, because there is no loser. Everyone who plays must win, and in his winning is the gain to everyone insured. The game of fear is gladly laid aside when children come to see the benefits salvation brings. You who have played that you are lost to hope, abandoned by your Father, left alone in terror, in a fearful world made mad by sin and guilt, be happy now. That game is over. Now a quiet time has come in which we put away the toys of guilt and lock our quaint and childish thoughts of sin forever from the pure and holy minds of heaven's children and the Son of God. We pause but for a moment more to play our final happy game upon this earth, and then we go to take our rightful place where truth abides and games are meaningless. So is the story ended. Let this day bring the last chapter closer to the world, that everyone may learn the tale he reads of terrifying destiny, defeat of all his hopes, his pitiful defense against a vengeance he cannot escape is but his own deluded fantasy. God's ministers have come to waken him from the dark dreams this story has evoked in his confused, bewildered memory of this distorted tale. God's Son can smile at last on learning that it is not true. Okay, what do you do? Let's back up. Come on, let's back up. Back up, back up. Come on. Back up. He's chewing on my pack right there behind the camera. God's Son can smile at last on learning that it is not true, that you're defenseless, that you need to use defenses. It's not true. Today we practice in a form we will maintain for quite a while. We will begin each day by giving our attention to the daily thought as long as possible. 5 minutes now becomes the least we give to preparation for a day in which salvation is the only goal we have. 10 would be better, 15 better still, and as distractions cease to arise to turn us from our purpose, we will find that half an hour is too short a time to spend with God. Nor will we willingly give less at night in gratitude and joy. Each hour adds to our increasing peace as we remember to be faithful to the will we share with God. At times, perhaps a minute, even less, will be the most that we can offer as the hour strikes. Sometimes we will forget. At other times, the business of the world will close on us, and we will be unable to withdraw a little while and turn our thoughts to God. Yet when we can, we will observe our trust as ministers of God in hourly remembrance of our mission and His love. Come on, we'll move out of the way there. Let's back up. He's chewing on my pack. Or she is. Yet when we can, we will observe our trust as ministers of God in hourly remembrance of our mission and His love. And we will quietly sit by and wait on Him and listen to His voice and learn what He would have us do the hour that is yet to come, while thanking Him for all the gifts He gave us in the one gone by. So he just now explained what we're going to do for the next several lessons. Actually, for the rest of our book, we'll do this. Spend an hour, every hour of the day, bring the idea to your mind and have a moment of thanksgiving and asking for guidance. And then start your day with at least 5 minutes and end it with at least 5, but he said take as long as you want. In time, with practice, you will never cease to think of Him and hearing His loving voice guiding your footsteps in quiet ways where you will walk in true defenselessness. For you will know that heaven goes with you. Nor would you keep your mind away from Him a moment, even though your time is spent in offering salvation to the world. Think you He will not make this possible for you who chose to carry out His plan for the salvation of the world and yours? We're supposed to be busy about our Father's business, bringing the light that set us free to all our brothers. Today our theme is our defenselessness. We clothe ourselves in it as we prepare to meet the day. We rise up strong in Christ and let our weakness disappear as we remember that His strength abides in us. We will remind ourselves that He remains beside us through the day and never leaves our weakness unsupported by His strength. We call upon His strength each time we feel the threat of our defenses undermine our certainty of purpose. We will pause a moment as He tells us, I am here. Your practicing will now begin to take the earnestness of love to help you keep your mind from wandering from its intent. Be not afraid nor timid. There can be no doubt that you will reach your final goal. The ministers of God can never fail, because the love and strength and peace that shine from them to all their brothers comes from God. These are His gifts to you. Defenselessness is all you need to give Him in return. You lay aside but what was never real, to look on Christ and see His sinlessness. Okay, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. A little longer reading. I think that's one of our longest lessons. Okay, let's go take a look at the bridge to the real world. In chapter 16 in the text, the forgiveness of illusions. And we're ready for the bridge to the real world. I also call this giving up nothing because it is nothing, or willingness to see truth and beauty. The bridge to the real world. And we're just going to read a little bit of this. The search for the special relationship is a sign that you equate yourself with the ego and not with God. For the special relationship has value only to the ego. To the ego, unless a relationship has special value, it has no meaning. For it perceives all love as special. Yet this cannot be natural, for it is unlike the relationship of God and His Son. And all relationships that are unlike this one must be unnatural. For God created love as He would have it be and gave it as it is. Love has no meaning except as its Creator defined it by His will. It is impossible to define it otherwise and to understand it. Love is freedom. Oh, no, back up. She sure did step on my guitar. Didn't hurt it. Okay, we're going to have to move. Love is freedom. To look for it by placing yourself in bondage is to separate yourself from it. For the love of God no longer seek for union and separation, nor for freedom and bondage. Exclamation point. Oh, he moved my camera too. Okay. For the love of God, I love Jesus' humor, the way he says things. For the love of God no longer seek for union and separation, nor for freedom and bondage. As you release, so will you be released. Forget this not, or love will be unable to find you and comfort you. Paragraph 3. There is a way in which the Holy Spirit asks your help if you would have His. The holy instant is His most helpful aid in protecting you from the attraction of guilt, the real lure in the special relationship. Okay, the holy instant, that moment where you enter into the quiet and let all your self-concepts go, where you let whatever you think you have to do go, enter into that holy instant. He says that the holy instant is his most helpful aid in protecting you from the attraction of guilt, the real lure in the special relationship. You do not recognize that this is its real appeal, for the ego has taught you that freedom lies in it. Yet the closer you look at the special relationship, the more apparent it becomes that it must foster guilt and therefore must imprison. 4. The special relationship is totally meaningless without a body. If you value it, you must also value the body. And what you value, you will keep. The special relationship is a device for limiting yourself to a body and for limiting your perception of others to their bodies. The great rays would establish the total lack of value of the special relationship if they were seen. Catch that? The great rays. Wow, that's what we want to be able to see, the great rays. And you can be in your body and see it too. You don't have to die to see the great rays, even though you will see the great rays when you cross over. The great rays would establish the total lack of value of the special relationship if they were seen. For in seeing them, the body would disappear because its value would be lost. And so your whole investment in seeing it would be withdrawn from it. 5. You see the world you value. You see the world you value. That's learn to value the world that is real, that can't be seen with the physical eyes, seen with the inner vision. On this side of the bridge, you see the world of separate bodies seeking to join each other in separate unions and to become one by losing. When two individuals seek to become one, they're trying to decrease their magnitude. Each would deny his power, for the separate union excludes the universe. Far more is left outside than would be taken in, for God is left without and nothing taken in. If one such union were made in perfect faith, the universe would enter into it. Yet the special relationship the ego seeks does not include even one whole individual. The ego wants but part of him and sees only this part and nothing else. Across the bridge it is so different. For a time the body is still seen, but not exclusively as it is seen here. The little spark that holds the great rays within it is also visible, and this spark cannot be limited long to littleness. Once you have crossed the bridge, the value of the body is so diminished in your sight that you will see no need at all to magnify it. For you will realize that the only value the body has is to enable you to bring your brothers to the bridge with you and to be released together. Isn't that beautiful? Listen to that. You will realize that the only value the body has is to enable you to bring your brothers to the bridge with you and to be released together there. And then the first sentence in paragraph 7, the bridge itself is nothing more than a transition in the perspective of reality. Well, let's start seeing that transition, that perspective in reality that realizes that in my defenselessness my safety lies. And that our purpose for being here is to bring our brothers to the bridge to escape from guilt with us. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on around the world. The 2-day celebration, Shabbat, for the Jews continues. American Indian Citizenship Day or Native American Day. I Love My Dentist Day, International Sex Workers Day. Yell fudge at the Cobras in North America Day. Not many cobras in North America, are there? Thank God it's Monday Day. Gun Violence Awareness Day and Leave the Office Early Day. And out of edible landscaping, another strawberry, the sparkle. Sparkle is a very hearty, flavorful variety introduced 60 years ago, but still is very popular because of its flavor. Excellent for jam and freezing. Fruit is red all the way through. Our hardiest selection, one of its parents, the Fairfax, is still considered the best flavored strawberry. Space 1 foot circles or in 2 foot wide rows 12 to 18 inches apart. Zones 4 through 7. So that's your sparkle strawberry. It's a June-bearing strawberry of Fragaria ananassa. Okay, well, let's close with our song. Thank you all for joining me. I try not to say too much, even though there was so much we could have said on that lesson. And I would encourage you to go back and read it. I still have one horse up here by the camera. A couple turkeys followed me out here. Anyway, that's Ahab behind me. She's a mare, and I got this other mare here that was causing me all the trouble. Her name's Dallas. Anyway, let's see if we're still tuned after her hitting it with her foot. Oh, nope, a good thing we checked. She must hit that. Okay. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. 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 Defenselessness is strength, it testifies to the recognition of the Christ in you. Be still a moment and in silence think how holy is your purpose. How secure your rest, untouchable within its light. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Defenselessness is strength, it testifies to the recognition of the Christ in you. Be still a moment and in silence think how holy is your purpose. How secure your rest, untouchable within its holy light. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. 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 And our word for peace today will be from the Afrikaans language of South Africa, which was originally a group of Dutch people that settled there. And they I don't know how the language developed, but it's called Afrikaans or Afrikaners, the people. And they live all over South Africa, but they're mainly congregated along the Orange River, and their word for peace is Vrede. So Vrede be with you, peace be with you. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Vrede.